Get square, we got to hit the hole, and we got to push the pile. So the big thing I tell those guys is hit the base hit. You know, we're not swinging for any home runs on third and short. We want the base hit, base hit, base hit. Now, if you luck up and you hit a home run, then that's great. But at the end of the day, we want to keep the chains moving. And so the big thing is just understanding the situation, not changing the running style, but just understanding the situation and knowing that I don't have flexibility to do anything other than go get the first down.
Is it a toughness thing too? Just have that mentality to run between the tackles?
You know, it is, but that's something that I want at all times. That's something that I'm trying to get these guys to understand. And if you want to play on Sundays and you want to be considered one of the best, then you got to have that mentality. You know, you look at Adrian Peterson. Everybody looks at Adrian Peterson and they see the yards, but they don't see the amount of yards after contact that he has. That he's got that physical nature, so that 2-yard gain now becomes a 15-yard gain because it's 1st and 10, but he's still running with that physical mentality.
It's well documented. Taj was kind of the go-to guy on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 last year. Do you feel like there's a back that you have now that can kind of take over that role, that's going to be the guy we trust in those situations?
You know, I think so. What I would like is for all of them to be capable of doing it. You know, the thing that having the ability to run Taj, what it gave you is it gave you an extra helmet or an extra hat, an extra blocker. You know, that's what made us, you know, with a combination of Taj being 225 pounds and being able to hit the hole, and then you're also able to sub the back out and put an extra tight end, you got extra hats. So whatever you called, you were good because you had an extra hat for that one extra defender that the defense was trying to bring. You know, that's what made it tough on the backs and short yardage is a lot of times our run schemes have things on the perimeter as outlets. Well, it's short yardage, so you cut the outlets off, but then yet they're bringing those extra defenders, and so it's not so much the mentality. It's tough to teach a guy, you know, to run to 2 and 3 guys. So the big thing is, I think we got some guys with a little bit more size that'll help us, but at the same time, you know, we're going to miss what Todd brought us because of not only his size and his ability to run, but the ability to have extra hats to help protect him.
Where do you see Dye in his rehab? To what extent are you counting on him, and when might you expect to get him back out there?
You know, what I've heard is, you know, somewhere in October to mid-season. I think he's right on schedule, if not ahead of schedule. But at the same time, with the severity of the back, and then you're dealing with the Achilles, and the big thing is you don't want to push him too hard, too fast, to where you bring him back too soon. From a physical standpoint, and also the same thing from a mental health standpoint. You want to make sure that he feels comfortable, he's ready to go, because at the end of the day, you know, playing this position, playing this game, it's all about confidence. So I think he's on schedule to slightly ahead of schedule, and I'm thinking probably somewhere mid-season, realistically, for him to be able to function and be up at full speed.
How's he handled the mental part of it? Because I know it's got to be a huge disappointment.
Right.
You redshirt, and now you're looking at maybe not getting onto the field until, you know, the second half of the season.
I tell you what, now, I mean, he's a young man in coaching that you learn from for that very reason. And that's what I told him when I met with him after the spring. I said, you know what, Tyshawn, I'm so proud of you in the way that you've handled this whole situation because, you know, you have the back, then you have the Achilles, but he did the best of any of the freshmen in the classroom, both semesters. He just had a positive attitude. You know, everyone likes being around him. And I told him, I'm proud of you because you earned everybody's respect in the building and on this football team, and you didn't play one snap of football. And that's impressive. So mentally, he's handled it great, better than any of us ever would have expected. And he's setting the example for all the guys in our room of the attitude that you got to have, not just in football but in life, to be successful. The young man is so driven to be successful, and if you understand where he comes from and just the situation, I mean, he is so passionate and so driven to be successful, to be able to take care of his mom and his family, that it doesn't matter what you throw at him. You know, he'll get frustrated at times, but at the end of the day, he's gonna strap his boots up and he's just gonna go to work.
What can he do in August? I mean, it's not gonna be a situation where he's just taking laps around the field.
Right.
Good. Can he do something?
You know, there'll be situations where we'll have some teach periods where there'll be no contact. I'm not sure what exactly they're gonna allow him to do, but I would anticipate early on there's probably gonna be more, you know, mental reps, non-contact. So he'll be in situations where we got some teach periods. We'll get him in there, get him some reps. And then also I'm going to challenge him too, and hopefully I'll have the resources to be able to do it. And I got it from, I think it was Priest Holmes when he was hurt, when he was with Kansas City. He took a mental rep behind the team all practice. So maybe have a script for him so that when we're going, that we got everybody working here and he's standing behind and he's lining up and he's taking his reps just to help him. Because again, he hasn't had any substantial reps since fall camp of last year.
And what's